Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Skills and Abilities. Today we're going to be looking at another one of the Assassin Claw abilities, and this one is the Claws of Thunder. The Claws of Thunder is the lightning damage claw charge up ability, and thanks to the NiNi rune words that they've come out with, which they may or may not be changing these by the way, but this is what we have right now. And this is the 25% chance for finishing moves not to consume charges. We now have the ability to potentially build a pretty awesome Claws of Thunder build. This is one of the cooler abilities in this tree because it does a pretty large amount of AoE damage, and I'll show it to you here in a second. But it does obviously have three different effects. The first charge is lightning damage, which is 1 to 7,488. The second is the Nova damage, which is 2 to 4,654. And then we have the charged bolt damage. Now the charged bolt damage is a little strange, and it does come out, and each charged bolt has the full damage. However, Claws of Thunder does have a next hit delay of 4, which was 4 frames, so 4 over 25, which isn't really a lot. It's the same next hit delay that multi-shot has. So you know how multi-shot, you could obviously hit one target with like 10 arrows, but it doesn't actually hit one target with 10 arrows. It only hits them one time. This is because the next hit delay prevents it from hitting the same target twice within that time frame. And Claws of Thunder has a similar effect, which prevents it from hitting the same target twice within a flash second. It's like a tenth of a second. So it cannot hit the same target twice within that time frame. Now, I'd like to take a look at Claws of Thunder and how it works. First off, when you have the charges, your finisher will not miss. This is important because this is something that they changed. So having at least one charge of any ability will guarantee the hit on whatever ability it is that you're using for the finisher. Now, with this new rune word, when you build up your attack, you still build your charges the same way that you always would. So, for instance, with Claws of Thunder, you're going to go up to your target, you're going to bop them, and you're going to get your 3 orbs. However, now with the 50% chance to not consume charges, as you can see, there's just an amazing, amount of craziness going on the screen. We have multiple novas coming out of the target. We've got multiple charged bolts coming out of the target. And this is, of course, because we are applying those charges multiple times. I mean, you can obviously clearly see when I use this ability that, yes, we get a Nova, right? So, like, our first charge is just lightning damage. So it's not, like, too amazing. Our second charge is the Nova, which gives us a nice little effect. And then we have all these little charged bolts that come out. Claws of Thunder is very damaging in terms of AoE effectiveness because, number one, it does have, obviously, the Novas, and the Novas are going to do a pretty decent amount of damage. We also have the beautiful charge bolts, which are going to go outward from the target, and are going to hit pretty much everything within that radius. So if you're in, like, a middle of a big group of monsters or something, let's grab Dragonflight, and you teleport into a group of monsters, you've got the charge bolts coming out. You've got all sorts of nice, beautiful things happening all at one time. And this is why Claws of Thunder is pretty sweet. Claws of Thunder also has an accoutrement, which is Phoenix Strike. So all of these abilities, no matter which ones you use, do require Phoenix Strike as a synergy to beef up the respective elemental damage of that type. With Phoenix Strike has a lightning effect. It's called Chain Lightning. And it doesn't look like Chain Lightning. It actually looks like this. Let me see if I can grab just 2 charges here. And as you can see, it goes outward, it goes inward, it goes left, it goes right. I mean, it's pretty amazing, right? So if we were to utilize our 2 together, here, let me burn this so I can get just the right number. This is what our lightning would look like if we used it with one of the kicks. And that is literally just the lightning, as you can see. And then we've got the meteors come down at the end. But it's a pretty impressive array of effects between the charged bolts, the novas, and all of the various lightning effects that are coming out all at one time. It can be a very impressive array of little abilities. The main issue, though, is that there is a next hit delay on Claws of Thunder, so you kind of have to slow it down a little bit. You actually want to slow down your attack speed, because if you slow down your attack speed a little bit, you actually end up with a little bit more spread out damage, which allows the hits to land. If you're doing it too quickly, like for instance with Dragon Talon, because it attacks 8 kicks so in such a fast period of time, there's a good chance that you're having 2 or 3 attacks that are overlapping and aren't actually hitting the targets all at the same time. So you're getting basically wasted damage potential. I actually slowed this character down on purpose. Like, deliberately slowed her down. And in fact, I was actually thinking of taking these Runic Talons and not making the Mosaics and Runic Talons. I was thinking about making them in something slower. Specifically because I wanted to make sure that, for instance, like with those meteors that you saw come down, I wanted to make sure that they were coming down separately enough so that they're hitting the target outside of the next hit delay issues. And the same thing, of course, goes for the Claws of Thunder, which is giving us the Novas. It's giving us the charged bolts. It's giving us all these beautiful effects. And we want to make sure that every single one of those is hitting the targets. So we don't want them so close together that they're overlapping. There's really not a lot more to go over with Claws of Thunder. It's a pretty crazy ability, but you're going to pair it up with Phoenix Strike anyway. Whether you're going to be building a pure lightning damage, assassin, or you're going to be building a full Phoenix Strike assassin, you could essentially do both, right? So, like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen what a full Phoenix Strike assassin looks like, but let's go do that real quick just for lulz. So to illustrate this, I'm just going to build up all the charges. What it would look like if you had built a full Phoenix Strike Assassin. So of course you're going to build up your 3 lightning, you're going to build up your 3 ice, your 3 fire, and then of course your 3 Phoenix Strike, and you're going to kick them into the targets. And as you can see there, it's just like a ridiculous explosion of everything's now dead. In fact, it's so bright and shiny that you literally can't even see anything. And that's with the new Mosaic Rune Words. I'm interested to see what it is that they're going to be doing to these. My hunch is they're going to up the percentage a little bit, but we shall see what it is that specifically they're going to be doing with those. The next one on the list is, of course, going to be Blades of Ice, so we'll be taking a look at that one next. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even when we're talking about some crazy Nova spamming ridiculousness that is Claws of Thunder. And as always, keep watching.